Aloha, my name is Thatcher Fahlbusch, and today I'll be sharing a food story about a dish called teriyaki chicken. In this video, I'll be interviewing my mom, who is from Kauai. This story represents our family's cultural background and shows how food traditions and practices were passed down from my grandma in Kauai and now to me. Can you introduce yourself and where you're from?
Yes, my name's Amy Fahlbusch, and I'm from the North Shore of Kauai.
What was it like growing up in Kauai, especially when it comes to food?
So growing up on Kauai, food was a huge part of our life. My mom, Tutu, she made all of our food from scratch. We never went out to eat. So we have a lot of great recipes and a lot of really good memories around having food together.
Can you tell me about the dish we're talking about today?
I can. So Grandma would make this for my brothers and I, especially because that was our favorite meal. Probably because chicken teriyaki is a little bit sweet. So that's what we would always ask her to make. Like if she ever said, what do you guys want tonight? And for you and your brother, that was one of your favorite meals growing up.
Where did this recipe come from?
So my mom, Tutu, she learned how to make it probably from her neighbors. Because, we had all these different cultures represented in Kilauea town. There were Filipino, Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiian families, so a lot of different influences. So I know she got the recipe kind of learning how to add fresh ginger, fresh garlic, brown sugar, all the kind of things that make it a little more special and homemade versus just a jar of sauce.
Why is this dish important to our family?
I think it's important because it's something that can keep everybody happy. So if you're ever not sure what you should make to feed a crowd, anyone likes this, old, young, like I said, it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. So it's easy to make. You can marinate the chicken, throw it on the barbecue, have it with a nice big salad, some roasted veggies, side of rice, and you're good. Easy to make.
What does this dish represent culturally?
So like I said, Hawaii is full of so many different cultures that meld together. So it just represents not only the food traditions, primarily Asian food traditions with chicken teriyaki, but also, like I said, the blending of cultures. So, when we go to potluck, it was always cool to see a Filipino dish or a Hawaiian dish and how all the food would kind of all come together and everyone would bring something that was from their heritage.
How do you prepare it versus how grandma prepares it?
So Tutu, she would probably add more sugar, more brown sugar to the recipe. She would just have rice. So for me to make it a little more healthy, like I said, I'll add veggies. I'll have a side salad, add a little bit less brown sugar, and I still think it tastes just as good.
Do you think that grandma influenced the way you think about food and health?
No one more so important than grandma. She was kind of a hippie in those days, in the 1970s and 80s. So living close to nature, like I said, she prepared all of our meals. We never went out to eat. She made all of our food from scratch. It hugely impacted me, and then that informed me on how I wanted to raise my kids and feed you guys too.
The dish represents more than just a meal. It reflects family culture and the connection between generations. It shows how traditions from Kauai were passed down from my grandma to my mom and now to me. It also represents how food can carry meaning, memories, and values over time. Mahalo, Mom, for sharing this story and continuing these traditions. Mahalo for watching.